Thank you for evaluating GenuEase. We appreciate you taking the time. This video provides simple instructions for packing it up so you can get it shipped back. First, you'll need to unplug the power supplies from the display unit. Also unplug them from the power strip and put them back into the box of electronics. Then you'll need to disconnect the two USB cables connected to the bottom of the display. To remove the display, loosen the knob on top of the ball mount that lets you slip the display out. Once you remove the display, stick it back into its anti-static bag and wrap it in the foam it came wrapped in originally, just to keep it from getting too banged up on the trip home. Put it into the box with the electronics. You can also take the power strip and stick it back in the box with the electronics, and any packing material that may have come in the box of electronics, you could replace that to keep things from bouncing around, and then simply throw a piece of tape on that box so that it stays closed during shipping. Take those two loose USB cables and make a loose knot with them against the frame just so they don't flop around too much. Then take the crank and put it in the space in the bottom of the box. It's pretty easy to see where the crank goes. There are two sheets of foam that go over the crank to keep it from getting scratched up. If you can find them, replace them, and if you need to, tape them down so they stay in place during shipping. Now, slide the leg apparatus over to the right knee position or the left side of the machine and crank it back so that those legs are against the back of the machine. Flip up the display mount arm and then remove the knob from the right arm. After you remove the knob, remove the spacers, push the bolt back. You don't have to take it all the way out, just push it back enough that you can swing that arm back out of place. Then stick the bolt through again, replace the spacers, replace the knob. You don't have to tighten it up, just spin it on so that it knows where to stay. To loosen the other arm, you'll need to remove the knob, and once you remove the knob, remove the two spacers, set those aside, push the bolt back so that you can move that arm. It moves freely. Then you have to turn the crank coupler so that the legs stay against the frame. There should be a piece of foam in there to keep that crank coupler from damaging the seat. If you could just put that between the seat and the crank coupler, that'd be much appreciated. Turn it until the legs are snug against the frame and that left arm is cranked all the way down. Then replace the bolt, replace the spacers, and replace the knob. Again, you don't need to tighten it up, just get it on there. Then loosen the knobs on the two front legs. Don't remove the knobs, just loosen the knobs. If you tighten any bolts, you'll need to loosen those bolts. Then place the machine face down and use the knob to remove the bolt on the back center leg. Once you remove that bolt with the knob, you'll notice there's also a retaining pin. Just pull that retaining pin out and then rotate the back leg up and stick it down through the mount into the frame. So it looks like that with the legs against it. Then replace the retaining pin and replace the bolt. No need to tighten it up, just put the knob on there, give it a few spins, and you're in good shape. Now, to fold those front legs up, you pull them down, straight down, so that they come out of the slots they're in, and then you fold them up against the frame. Now here's the tricky bit. Use the waist strap to hold those legs against the frame. This takes more arms than most people have, but Chris is pretty good at it. Fold those legs up against the frame, then pull the waist strap around them, snap the waist strap underneath the seat, give it a snug, and everything's tight together. If you can find the foam that was on the leg when you got it, replace it to protect the leg from scratching where it rubs against the foot on the bottom arm. Then pick up the machine and stick it in the box. To stick it in the box, you'll want to try and align those legs with two slots in the bottom of the box, as you can see here. If they don't line up perfectly, don't worry about it. Close is pretty good. Then take the box of electronics, stick it right there in the bottom of the box, and you'll find two packing blocks. One has a groove in it cut low that goes on the left arm. The other has a groove in it cut high that goes on the right arm to keep the machine in place in the box. There's also a small piece of foam that goes on the top of the left arm, or the right arm, to keep it from punching through the top of the box. Then there's a square block of foam that goes on the top, diagonally like that, and another piece of foam, a rectangular piece of foam that goes over the electronics box. And you've packed it up. Now just put the lid back on it. And once you have the lid on snug, tape up the box just so that it stays closed, and call us for pickup. You can call 888-886-4368 to arrange pickup. Again, thank you for looking at GenuEase.